The people of Rohan have fled to the safety of Helm's Deep, abandoning Edoras and everything they held dear. But for the safety of their lives, that is what King Theoden has decided. However, Saruman will not allow them to go freely, and this has played right into his plans. He has assembled a untrained but massive force of Uruk-hai to overwhelm the defenses and crush the people of Rohan, weakening the power of men and making there so there's no allies to come to the aid of Gondor whatsoever. However, an alliance once stood between men and elves, and the elves have come to honor this alliance once more, to fight and die for the forces of good. Hey, how's it going, guys? My name is Jackie Fish and welcome back to the Siege of Helm's Deep. It's been forever since I have last covered a Siege of Helm's Deep, so I'm actually really looking forward to diving in and having a good go at this. You can also see as well the artillery crew. There's going to be a breach with the bomb sappers almost immediately. I assume this is going to be pretty catastrophic, so we'll keep a close eye on that. As you can see, the forces are looking pretty bad. There are 5,000 defenders, so obviously a lot more than there were in the books and also in the movies. In the books, there were like 300 just men of Rohan, peasants, and obviously in the movies, the elves come along to aid. But there you go, kaboom! Is this all you can muster? Saruman? Oh, this is not all they can muster. Plenty more are coming in. Obviously, as well, this battle is, not trying to recreate. It's just kind of a fun community battle. So, both players are trying to win. They're not trying to kind of create any scenario. Besides, obviously, kind of bringing Helm's Deep to its prowess. But, they're still playing a competitive match on Helm's Deep rather than more of a cinematic one. So we'll have to see how they will fare on this one. So the Uruk-hai, as you can see, have a whole range of infantry. A ton of this medium infantry. And they do have not the huge shields, but still heavily armed. They've got some pikemen back here. They've also got an assortment of archers and crossbowmen, along with berserkers as well. These berserkers are going to rip through the walls if they can easily get up there. They've also got some artillery back there to make another breach or two. Then for the defenders, we do have men of Rohan. So we are using the Rohan Rise of Mordor submod in this one, which really is very, very good. Like, it's actually an amazing submod. It really adds in some amazing units, which you can definitely play with, along with the pre-existing Rise of Mordor units. It's a bit dark right there because of the shadows, but we've also got the Galadriel elf mod as well. Galadriel has sent her elves to aid the men of Rohan in the battle, and hopefully they'll be able to get stuck in. There is also a random sapper crew who didn't get blown up by the Aragorn. Oh yeah, we also have Aragorn as well. And as Aragorn just kicks that dude in the face. Brilliant. Absolutely love it. And then obviously we also have the reinforcements of Éomer and his Rohirrim, led by Gandalf himself, coming to the aid of the men of Rohan as they defend the settlement. So, as you can see, like kind of, cinematic, but, again, still very competitive. The defenses over here are already being hammered at the gate. The White Hand Stormers have moved up. These guys are the perfect unit to push up here, and also very kind of reminiscent from the movie as well. It was this kind of type of unit who did push up the battering ram and tried to bring it down. So that gate is going to be getting hammered. We just have some mustard spears here. Obviously no ketchup whatsoever on the hot dog, just this mustard spears. And there's not really much back here whatsoever. Is a lone horse, which is going to be defending. Oh, this is Aragorn's horse, okay. Yeah, so just not a ton back here. We got some more Rohan mustard men at arms moving over. But yeah, again, nothing too crazy. This, we can see the center of the Hornburg being completely overrun because the majority of the defense is actually outside. And you can already see some men, I think, starting to be brought back. Archers being thrown on. And here we go. The Uruk-hai are now marching up the walls, ready to lay waste to anything they can find. And here you go. First couple soldiers moving over. As Gimli would say, let them come. Or I think he says, good, even though when Aragorn speaks in Elvish and Gimli understands it and replies to it. So, when Aragorn says ladders in Elvish, I mean, just, what, 0 out of 10. 0 out of 10 for the movie. Some of the Galadriel elf archers are actually already being hit as they do try and fall down. Hell dear! Hell dear! God damn, this replay is already filled with too many memes. For the most part, the assault is raging on now. Lots of ladders now being assaulted, and the infantry are now running in. Obviously, the defenders, for the most part, they're only defending the open plains in here. Which is not a bad defense, honestly. The archers can really hammer up on the walls, even though it is quite dark up there. The archers will have a good time at just firing ammunition up there and kind of really whittling down the forces of Isengard as they do assemble plenty of men up on that wall. There are more missiles coming on. Maybe you can't breach these walls, actually. Oh, yeah, maybe you can't. No, yeah, all these walls are indestructible. I guess it's only that one, yeah, only the waterway. I guess it is impenetrable rock, as Wormtongue would say. And the elves are ready for anyone coming through there. I'm surprised we're not seeing more archer fire being just absolutely pelted off onto the position. I guess we do have some elves back here firing in with their absolutely insane range. Look at that. How can they volley in and hit that wall? But yeah, this is where the real strength of the defenders are going to come from. Holding the enemy on the walls and just peppering in elven archer fire into the side. I believe these Galadriel elves have actually been balanced, because this is a separate mod to Rise of Mordor, but I believe it was fixed by one of the people on the Rise of Mordor team and balanced as such as well. I'm pretty nervous here for the defenders at the gate, because these spearmen, again, the armor and stuff on these spearmen are absolutely amazing. I love the helmets as well. Can't wait until we get more Rohan units. Because I think at the moment there's only 3 units in Rise of Mordor without the unit expansion. The assets are absolutely great, they really are. Sorry as well, the lighting is pretty atrocious for these guys, especially when it's such a bright day as well. They are saying have a pretty nice defense. They've kind of got like a 3-pronged attack here, so they can hold them in the center and come in from both sides when they break through. Definitely a good move indeed. And more reinforcements are turning up. Again, it's just a little bit scary there not being much here. Also, we'll obviously have to look to on the 4th day, on the 5th day at dawn, we'll have to look to the east, the west, I guess, the west. I think it says east though, honestly, I can't remember. It's been too long since I watched Helm's Deep. Also, controversial here as well, but the second movie is actually my least favorite. Obviously, it's hard to have a least favorite. My least favorite is still like my 3rd favorite movie of all time. But definitely, for me, guys, movie 1, Fellowship, for me is always going to be the #1 movie in the series. It doesn't have as much action as the 3rd one. Obviously, it doesn't have like the Siege of Minas Tirith or the Battle of Helm's Deep in it, but I think the way that they managed to, capture Middle-earth in that first one, they set out the journey so perfectly. There's hardship with Gandalf going down, #spoilers. There's this awesome fight at the end. I think it is just the best movie. Maybe not the best action or the best, plenty of stuff in it, but I think for me, it's just, as a movie, it's absolutely amazing. Does so much, introduces, and also it creates the world as well. A lot of people have watched that who haven't read the books or don't know about Lord of the Rings. First movie for me, just accompany, basically gets someone who doesn't know what Lord of the Rings is and immerses them in the world magically. But anyway, no, I could talk about Lord of the Rings all day. We're not going to. We'll get back into the Battle of Helm's Deep that we're currently watching on. I get sidetracked so easily. We do have some of the spearmen now being committed, and the Uruk-hai have now pushed him through the breach that has been created. This obviously does open up some nice shooting as well. If the elves are smart, they can actually set up some good fire platforms here and just shoot in so many missiles. All pikemen making their way in as well. Yeah, you can see the archer fire immediately on them pikemen, trying to bring down as many of them as possible. However, have not taken a casualty yet. These elves are having a little bit of a hard time. I mean, a lot of this missile fire is finding its mark. We're not seeing too many casualties being brought down quite yet. Assuming what we'll see is a lot of the elven arrow fire go in, and then eventually it will really start to take up some casualties as the artillery is now ranging in as well, really trying to take down as many of these elves as possible. The elves are also on a little bit of a tear on ammunition. These elven archers do not have a ton left, and Uruk-hai are clearing out the walls pretty nicely, I would say, beating back the men of Rohan. These are like the actual good men of Rohan. But the Uruk-hai seemingly are able to overrun the defenses without too much hassle. There's some more elves coming over to this portion of the battlefield, trying to quickly reinforce. They don't really want to allow any of the enemy the ability to get down and assault them. Pretty crazy battle going on in the background, especially with all the missile fire coming in as well. Pretty brutal indeed. And it does seem like the Riddermark Axemen are being slowly whittled down. Luckily, the elves have arrived to reinforce as they break. Oh no, they're actually just going to fall back, and then the Gladian swords are going to go in. They actually do pretty good against the Uruk-hai heavy infantry. However, the walls are looking as if they are completely broken now, which is not good. And the defenders are going to have to fall back. I don't know how Van's power bar is completely messed up. Do not take it into account, because right now they are under a lot of pressure, and soon enough I think retreating back is going to be the only option inside the settlement when they do have the heavier defenses. They have been able though to at least put up some pressure here. The White Hand Stormers are down a little bit, but they've got 156 kills. They've only lost 15 Uruks. That is insane. How have they only lost 15 Uruks? Pretty goddamn crazy indeed. And also as well, something you got to remember as well, a large portion of the defenders are out here with Gandalf, ready to assist. And I assume, again, I don't know if they've had a certain time limit of when this cavalry can come in. Generally, it's like 10-15 minutes into the battle, so it gives the attackers a good enough time. If they need to, they can break into the city. But if the defenders do put up a good fight, they can also try and stop this as well. The Archer Fire is running pretty low. They have got some still left, but a lot of the bowmen of the actual archers of Helm's Deep, these guys, they're running extremely low on ammunition, and I think they'll be out soon. And I think as well they need to start pulling back, because the Uruks are basically broken through the Elven battle line. Now they can start moving around here, enveloping what remains of the infantry. But my God, there's just nothing left for them at all. There really isn't. Surely we must be seeing something else. There you go. Aragon is falling back to being a layer. We've got 6 kills so far, not too bad. Obviously, hero entities don't work amazingly in Attila, but I think they do a fine enough job. They're more there as a character buffer more than anything else. And honestly, I don't mind it. I don't mind characters, the way they are implemented in the Galadriel Elf mob, because as long as you make them tanky and so they won't just die, that's fine with me. They can kind of be cool, they can kind of be there, but we're not going to be soloing entire units or anything along them lines. Honestly, don't mind it. Because it is quite cool having Aragon roam around. The Archer Volley still continuing to come in, but look at the hordes still marching off, and here we go. Gandalf is coming. He is leading the Rohirrim. King Theoden stands alone. Not alone. Rohirrim! Literally goosebumps. Goosebumps, goddammit. Also, do you guys want to hear something really sad? Well, I guess I'll do this charge and then I'll tell you guys something extremely sad. As the Rohirrim amass the hill, ready to move down. Now's the hour. Oh, look at that. It's literally, oh my God. The White Wizard standing in, looking at the siege of Helm's Deep. Go, moving in. Oh my God, that looks so good. Here they go, reinforcements have arrived. And it's going to be really important to see what this cavalry can actually do. Now, it is on the battlefield. Obviously, you can see the majority of the Uruk infantry has made a good headway into the settlement itself. So this generally happens in a siege of Helm's Deep. The defenders do just kind of like bottleneck their way inside with pikes and other stuff along them lines. That's why I always love to see archers, cavalry archers being brought in the reinforcing Rohirrim. Oh, the artillery going to try and one-shot Gandalf. However, Gandalf has been through fire and flame, and he is not here to exchange words with a witless worm such as these Uruk siege crew, and he's going to go in and, yeah, run straight through them. See you later, boys. See you later. I don't think he quite meant to do that. But definitely going to be able to pick up some of these units now. Obviously, killing the artillery crew, the Rohirrim able to break through. And even if they can just get them inside the city, obviously coming over here would not be a bad idea. Just trying to break through and do as much as they can. Obviously, you can see the cavalry flanking around as well. I mean, they can definitely also do some damage. Again, this is going to be a little bit of a trouble as well, because the archers are going to get up on the wall and they're going to kind of act as like a safety net as well. The cavalry is going to try and get in here and obviously come in the side of the pikemen. They definitely can do it if they just, you know, maneuver enough. But that archer fire is going to come flying in. So we're going to set up here and I assume immediately go into that side of the pikes like so. And that's going to be pretty deadly. Also hitting the enemy general as well is not a bad idea. And obviously the other cavalry on the other side is also going to probably come around. There's also cavalry going up the main stairs as well, through to the gate. There is obviously a unit of White Hand Stormers there to stop them though, so it's going to be kind of difficult for them to achieve that quite as easily. The archers as well up here are brutal. And as you can see, the main downward plateau of Helm's Deep looking extremely overrun by Uruks. Not much left here whatsoever. I also absolutely love the map as well. This is such an awesome map. I really wish they had like proper Helm's Deep architecture in it, because this map is just really well nicely designed. As more of the cavalry come in, just trying to surround these pikemen as best as they can. But yeah, like I love the design. I love like these quarry type of defenses here. I think it looks really cool. Like this really does look like Helm's Deep built into the mountain. The cavalry charging for honor and glory against the White Hand Storm. It's going to be kind of a hard fight, honestly, to break through, but not a bad charge, honestly. That was actually an amazing charge. They obviously must have lost some men already, but even still, not bad. That was, yeah, not bad at all. This unit was obviously inside fighting, but still not bad, as they just try and fight their way in. Honestly, it would not be a bad idea to try and dismount and maybe try and climb these ladders. I imagine if the ladders weren't so finicky, they would definitely try and do that. But because the ladders are such a mess, it's kind of hard to do. And here we go, the Orcs are heavily trying to just push inside the settlement. We've got a unit of dismounted real guard fighting hard to defend the people of Rohan. Axes and swords equipped with anything the armory of Helm's Deep has. Obviously Theoden has been under the spell of Wormtongue for some time now, so he's not been preparing for war. The weapons are amazing, they look great, but not well equipped enough to deal with the Uruks. The Uruks who are just descending upon them, and the archer fire as well. Look at Gandalf! Gandalf pop up a magic barrier! Oh my god. You poor man. You poor man. He is like... he's just like, shield! Repel! And he's going to pull out of there, taking some missile fire. Holding firm. The pikemen are finally starting to break as the Uruks are getting hit from every single side. Just trying to kill them. There is also a unit of pikes inside the settlement as well. And somehow as well, the Galadriel elves are fighting bravely inside as well. How many kills are they on? 150, not too bad. Not too bad at all. Berserkers are in now as well. I imagine this is well Helldil will die. Oh dear! Yeah, that's going to be the entire outer layer. Again, Bant's power. Don't quite know what is going on. The defenders only have 1,200 men left. I think there is not much hope in this battle. That is for sure. But defenders will make their last stand. Aragorn will make his last stand. Look at that. The complete outer wall has been overrun. Yeah, I think on a map like Helm's Deep, you need way more in the inner keep. That is for sure. Because the inner keep is just really defensible. You can set, like, you have archers basically, like, you let them in probably through the gate. They can obviously go up on the wall. And then you just stack this inner layer with archers. Because right now, the archers, like, you know, the elven archers up here, firing down on these right-hand stormers, they would melt very quickly. The cavalry has done a good job at trying to break this, but the pikemen are just almost impenetrable. And with all the archer fire coming in as well, it's been pretty much impossible. You've got crossbows on the wall now as well. This is no untrained force. This is a well-drilled army of Uruk-hai. I guess this is like a what if Saruman actually trained his Uruks and didn't try to break Theoden quickly. I mean, obviously he had to, because Theoden would send riders to Aemir and get the main cavalry back and then on the open field. Oh, Rohirrim on the open field, Ned? Oh, no. That'd not be good, as the Uruk general does get charged by a unit of cavalry. But yeah, anyway, back to what I was saying earlier. A little bit off topic, but do you guys want to hear something super depressing? I had tickets to go see the Fellowship of the Ring in the Albert Hall in London. Or the orchestra, so obviously all the music, the amazing soundtrack of the Fellowship. I had tickets to go see that in the Albert Hall. So what they do is they have a huge projector screen, and they have the orchestra in front of it. Obviously in the Albert Hall, which is made for concerts and stuff like that. It's like one of the most famous theatrical buildings in England. And they finally were doing it in England. I always follow the people who do it, and they generally do it in like Brazil, Canada, Germany, but hardly ever in the UK. And I finally found one in the UK. I was so pumped, like literally after years, I was so pumped to go and see it, because oh my god, it was just sound freaking amazing, like absolutely insane with the orchestra there. And yeah, obviously because of COVID, it's been cancelled or maybe rescheduled. But either way, really depressing. And I was heavily looking forward to that, and it's very much sad times, because hopefully it can be rescheduled or something, because my god, that would be absolutely amazing listening to that. If you guys have actually been to any of them, let me know how it was, because I know they do them around the world, but as I said, barely ever in the UK, if ever in the UK. I think I've been looking for like 5-6 years now. I've literally hardly ever found one. So if you guys have been to one, let me know what it's like, and try not to rub it in too much. Anyway, that was my super sad Lord of the Rings news for the episode. Now back to the battle itself. Still 13 minutes left. I mean, the attackers are pushing on, but for the most part, we have Gandalf himself riding for Wrath for Ruin into the pikemen, but not much he can really do. Somehow the elves over on this side as well are still bravely fighting their way out. They're kind of in like a pocket of resistance by themselves, but still doing a very good job at trying to kill the enemy and push their way out. How many kills are they on right now? Let's take a look. So over 230 so far, and still got 50 men left. If they can not break and they can hold, they can definitely still rack up a few more kills, try and even the odds somewhat, even though the odds are basically non-existent. Yeah, I mean, I think it's just really hard. This generally happens a lot in battles whenever they do Helm's Deep. It's almost impossible to get the cavalry inside the settlement. There should be like a rule maybe that the Uruks have to leave a majority of their army outside the settlement. Would be a pretty interesting idea. More reinforcements being sent up as well to help the Galadriel elves as they fight their stand. Obviously archers and pikemen now being brought in, and this is again another reason why holding the archers back on that inner wall is really important, because then they can volley in here and try and help out this big block. And that's exactly what they are doing. They got archers up there, but obviously there's only a handful of them left, and that's actually, is that friendly archers? Oh, it's Uruk archers, I think. No, it is. It's these guys up here, right? Yeah, it's these bowmen up here, obviously. We'll be doing way more, though, if they could really get in the settlement. It's Aragorn as well. Aragorn's back on his horse. In he goes. There's Gandalf, sorry. Gandalf has made his way inside the settlement. We're going to probably try and break his way in as best he can. Oh, that horse kick. Not bad, Gandalf. Not bad. For an old timer, a man of like 8,000 years old. Not too bad. And he's going to continue to pursue. How many kills is Gandalf on? 18 so far. Not bad, honestly. He's in the amount of mass. Oh my god! He just got massacred! That was like 70 bolts just going into him. Gandalf! Gandalf, no! Who's he going to come back this time? I mean, Gandalf literally can't die. So, we'll be seeing him, I'm assuming, at some point. Good luck. He will not pass out the realm. The bubble that surrounds Middle-earth. He'll be back, and he'll be back in greater numbers. I think the age of men is dwindling this day. As best of a move as they can do, I think the Uruks are soon to be inside the city. Aragon is here as well. And yeah, I mean, just imagine if the Uruks did end up winning at Helm's Deep. Killing Aragon, Legolas, Gimli, crushing Rohan. There would not be much left. There would not be much left. Because, I mean, the main thing is, it doesn't so much matter that Rohan would die. More so that Aragon would die, because then he wouldn't be able to summon the army of the dead. Obviously, in the books, they only use the army of the dead to kill the raiders, I believe, right? It's just the dots, the raiders, he uses to clear them out, and doesn't actually use them in the main battle. That's like mainly Rohan. And obviously the defenders of Gondor in the city. You know, Rohan basically breaks wins the Battle of Pelennor Field, if I'm not mistaken. Do correct me as well if I'm wrong. Because it's been forever since I've read the books. But Rohan basically breaks the Uruk's army, and Aragon and the army of the dead clear out the Corsairs and the docks. Oh, and also obviously you have the Daimroth as well, Prince of Daimroth leading the Swan Knights in the Battle of Pelennor Fields as well. You know, he obviously aids them in the books. But yeah, man, it would have been GG, really, wouldn't it? Rohan crushed. But Warhammer North probably would have gone sour as well. And all hope is lost. Man, I really hope one day they make a TV show, like an Amazon TV show or something on the Warhammer North. It's just perfect for a series. It really is. So many cool battles. The Witch King. Some people already know the Witch King. So, like, that's a perfect villain. And you don't have to do much explaining about him. And you just obviously do it from a point of view of, like, probably Bane, whatever he's called. Bard's son. Bard's son. I can't remember what he's called. He's B something, I'm pretty sure. Bran? Yeah, Bran. Bran II, King of Dale. Just do it from, like, his point of view or something. And then you have their final stand at the gates of Erebor. Oh man, it would be absolutely amazing. And there you go. These men are cheering, but all hope is lost. And I think that's going to be GG, right? There's a few defenders still left in the city. Aragon is still bravely fighting. He will fight until the settlement is taken. The fortress will hold whilst there are still men defending it. There's been so many quotes this day, but I think Aragon will be saying his last breath momentarily, and the settlement will be lost, and that'll be GG as the Uruks just roam through the settlement. So many reinforcements still left remaining. Apparently the band's power is still pretty even. There's 260 defenders, but the band's power is more like, yeah, bruh, I think they've got this. I think they've still got this. Somehow, I doubt it.